Welcome everyone to another live full stack kernel developer live stream here, open source Linux edition, only on our channels. I can't believe we are here again. Basically the only constant, the recurring theme, the only constant is change and regressions. I'm speechless that after 25 years I'm here live. I'm pretty sure it worked last week or last month, but just today you wake up, regression. You want to release the best Linux distribution, 32 ISO CPU variants and stuff, and then like BtrFS broken on at least big-endian. How did we notice? Of course, our PowerPC and Spark users, right? Hey, your Linux works amazing and stuff, but I want to use the best FS, the BtrFS. So it's a BtrFS. I quickly tested already, so yeah, that is real. And so what happens is mkfs, and I'm 100% sure, like kind of 99.99. I think I'm 100% sure. I'm pretty sure this worked as recently as freaking last week. So how to debug this? So the issue is you run, like you see here, QEMU, but so this happens the same. I tested this. It happens for PowerPC 64. It happens for Spark 64. It happens for PowerPC 32-bit, and it works for PowerPC 64-bit little endian. So it's, as you see here in the little mapping, from 1081 344 to, it's like, yeah, it's probably like byte swap, right? If you're new to this big-endian, probably I should make a dedicated video about endianness, but it's like, yeah, that is, it's like byte swapped on it, like probably, most likely. I didn't, like, yeah, we could decode that to hex and see, maybe we do. Yes, there are other hex decode things. Is it? I hope it's small enough for, because Lua has double numbers. Maybe I should use something else. Yeah, so it looks pretty pretty many zeros, so that probably is very likely swapped. I didn't check that before the video. 1080, yeah, whatever. It's, I mean, maybe I should not have used these numbers a little bit. Maybe we have only 56 or so bits. I didn't check that. Maybe we should, yeah, whatever. So we could, so how do we debug this, right? So normally you could, like, the pro thing would be to attach a debugger, which is like, yeah, although probably we could with QEMU. The thing is, for me, always, for my own project, sure, I attach a debugger. With other projects, it is often not as easy, because in the install environment I don't have a debugger. Sure, with QEMU, we probably could attach a debugger to QEMU user there. What I otherwise do then is, usually, it's like, yeah, let's bisect that kind of with updates, so the poor man's often quicker thing. I mean, obviously I usually do what, with my 25 years of experience, kind of feels like it should be the fastest thing. So my hope is that that update, like, yeah, 2023, and the minor update maybe broke big-endianness. So my hope is this update is causing this. Let's see. We need one revision less than that. And let's rebuild PowerPC to BtrFS procs. Let's see what happens. I didn't even check. Recurrently professional didn't even check the freaking audio before the live stream. But thankfully we have audio. Why did this not build unary operator in core functions? Did I mess something up here? Whatever happened now? Build, or maybe I messed something up. That is always arch PowerPC rebuild BtrFS procs. Let's best without title. Maybe I messed up the config. That is always a possibility, because yesterday I scripted some new ISO name generation, so maybe the config was messed up. This is why I used my internal build all thing, because that creates a new config, because otherwise I don't have a matching config. So yeah, and it works. It's like Jack 2. So I'm speechless. I mean, I don't know what, I mean, sure, nobody tests big-endian, nobody tests PowerPC, nobody, I'm not surprised, definitely nobody except David S. Miller and myself tests Spark. What should I say? At least it makes a good, entertaining YouTube late night show, code therapy entertainment channel. Working ones with professionals. You don't find them at Apple, you don't find them at Microsoft, you for sure don't find them at Google or Facebook, and you definitely don't find them at BtrFS developers at Oracle, of all things. I don't know, do they not have a test suite? I mean, it is possible it's caused by cross-compilation, but hey, I could cross-compile BtrFS procs for 10 years or so, since it probably is BtrFS so old. Let's check that. BtrFS, when was it created? 10 years ago, probably. Yada yada, Oracle IBM. 14 years introduced. Yeah, it's mature. It is business and production ready after 14 years, right? So what I then do, I mean, obviously we want to ship the latest version because obviously there probably should be something better except bugs and regressions. I mean, if I would have a microkernel and file system stuff, like I would have a test suite and I have a freaking, I would have an, I mean, if this continues like this, because it's infrastructure here at our T2 and Exacode stuff, right, we want to improve storage infrastructure, deployment infrastructure, like now that we have the best Linux distribution, obviously we need some surrounding infrastructure, some content distribution infrastructure, and test infrastructure. Just the other live stream probably yesterday I said, now wouldn't it be amazing to have a wall full of embedded boards and servers to automatically test stuff, but at the bare minimum it costs you freaking nothing to set up at least one or two, like maybe 4, like 32-bit little, 64-bit little, 32-bit big, 64-bit big-endian. Costs you nothing in QEMU, right? So BtrFS, let's extract. So we built 6.3, right? I believe. Let's be professionals and check what works. 6.3 worked. Where do I have my terminal? Was it not somewhere? Oh, here I scrolled. 6.3. And then I diff that and hope the diff isn't too large. And then we diff urn BtrFS procs. So this is reverse, unfortunately. Yeah, of course it's reverse. 6.3. Let's see how much did they change. 189 files, 13,000 searching, so basically net 6,000 lines. Shouldn't be that bad, right? Let's see, where is like do we just find endian? Test and set bit mask. Optimize helpers for little endian architectures where CPU and on-disk structures have the same. Cool, they really did some endian stuff. Like 2023. It's like, I mean, obviously we're not surprised, right? I mean, big-endian is broken. It is possible. What I find a little bit strange is, do they have big-endian? No, they don't. Little. But 2023 optimize, like, as if this would be the most important, but yeah, maybe some Facebook or so engineer found some pathological case where it's like a 10 times improvement or so. But it is possible. So where's the rest? Here's the else. LE64 to CPU. Okay, where do I have that? Yeah, I mean there is new code and it's like that. It is possible that this little endianness thing is defined for big-endianness as well. There are some really stupid compatibility header things, and for stupid historic reasons. What was the nose? What even was the... Probably I should add this to the no source. No clean source. No clear source. No clear... that... maybe I should change, like after 20 years I should, like each time I need to look it up. Usually I did not invent such cryptic things. I'm not the only developer here, so... But yeah, if the lead developer needs to look it up each time, maybe it's time to change the argument option 20 years later. BtrFS procs. It is possible that little endian is defined to professionals. Maybe they didn't test this. Because there was some of those stupid BSD or whatever Unix derived macros are then defined, like they define 1, 2, 3, 4 of like in hex, and maybe, let's see, BtrFS proc, so that would be PowerPC. Alright, PowerPC. Let's first try with this. Okay, that is exactly what I meant, right? Order little endian 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's maybe not this. And as you see from my experience, been there, seen. Okay, little endian is not defined. Then the question is, which file was it? So that is... I checked, by the way, before the YouTube live stream, I checked the log, and the configure stuff in our cross compilation correctly outputted big-endian, I believe. Okay, this was C3. Is this kernel shared C3? Okay, apparently maybe it's kernel shared, then I take this performance optimization back. It's of course LE. Yeah, let's see. So one BtrFS bug, the comments 5.14.7 that made the system hang randomly made me question why even adopt. Well, the X2 family of file systems always. I never had luck, right? I had X2, X3, like I made 3 crosses in the calendar when RISERFS was stable 20 years ago. I used the old RISERFS version 3 for probably a decade. X2 always sucked, X3 was nah, X4 is like, don't care anymore. So I had, yeah, but even with, but that is the thing. I mean, RISERFS was, I mean, I had kind of near zero problems, except the performance marginality we found on YouTube here, when a year ago we had a order of magnitude or 2 performance regression that we found and reported and made it to Phoronix. But except the performance regression, I nearly never really had, except once I told the story, I once plugged, ironically, I once had an endian issue. I had a, on my G4 cube, I had a offsite backup at home 10 years ago, and so in the early BtrFS days, and so that was working perfect with T2, obviously, right? Business carrier grade and enterprise ready Linux distribution. And then I made the mistake, I upgraded the cube to an SSD, and I took the terabyte or whatever, or half a terabyte, whatever was recent back in the day. I took the rotating, spinning hard drive out of there, out of the cube, and plugged it on some USB IDE converter. So, and maybe on an x86 little Endian machine. And that, I don't know whether it's Endianness or the shitty USB connection. It could also be that the fragile USB stuff errored out. Anyway, that's certainly not normal use case, or probably recommended. So I would also I would recommend not swap production storage systems Endianness without a good reason if you don't have to. But even in emergencies, so basically with this in mind, I would probably in emergency situations better search an hour or two longer for some other machine and use the same Endianness, because you're usually just asking for trouble and bugs and stuff. Speaking of, so where is my code or their code? All right, we wanted to find out Endian. Oh, this is bitops, kernel lib, bitops, and or is it even? Oh wait, no, this is just the first hit. I had this searched. I just wanted. Oh, this is actually. You see, we somehow searched to the wrong file. So, alright, this is used to multiple files, right? This is assessor's age. So basically, to test this, we can't just compile this, because what I wanted to do, I wanted to touch that. Actually, maybe this still works. Oh no, it doesn't. Assessors. Premium professional Makefiles that don't rebuild stuff when you touch it. Amazing stuff. That's what you have this bloody dependency shit files for, that I'm also not a fan of. So there is actually kernels, there's a assessors, like, so by the way, I would expect, like, if we touch that it rebuilds that, but it doesn't, for Makefile marginality reasons. Okay, this rebuilt quite a while, quite a bit. Let's, by the way, check the log file just in case. Yeah, it says byte ordering is big-endian. I just wanted to double check that. Endian. Define words big-endian to 1. AC Apple universal bold. Are you effing kidding me? Whatever, I guess. So this was a non-verbose build, right? Vignette, yeah, not the greatest fan of non-verbose builds. So what is their thing? Okay, there should be one word. Because 2023, of course, each bloody package, of course, darn. Can we just selectively build? Because I need to debug this, obviously. What's going on there? Okay, here's one. Looked a little bit much, but wait, why is this? Okay, this is a new line without much of a reason. So to debug this, I usually start with taking a look at the preprocessed source, at least in cases like this. Remove the output because we want the preprocessed output, debug macros, and Endian, where it's big-endian, PDP? Big-endian? You had me at PDP, big-endian. Why is PDP big-endian? Why is... Oh, this is just a generic define. Bits Endian age, big-endian 1. Ah, wait. Here is little Endian little endian is defined to 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, maybe they use a freaking macro wrong. And that is not yet true. I mean, yeah, that's the difference between professionals. Why probably Apple wanted to hire me and people working at Oracle. Oh man, that is so sad. I mean, yeah, I'm not the super greatest fan of that. big-endian. We could actually check. Yeah, so big-endian is defined. Yeah, I hate this byte order macros. Those people who defined it so shittily as this big-endian 4321, and I believe you need to compare this, like if whether some endian matches. What did they check test there? Yeah, if they have little endian. So basically it's defined, so yeah, they where is it coming from? Would we see that? So yeah, we would not see this in the preprocessed sources. So preprocessed sources are this, and as this H where is, yeah, they use CMM, so BtrFS, as it's probably the code path of the FEMM copy, I believe that, yeah. I probably should become more famous in actually sending all the stuff. Like if I would send, but the problem is I don't really have the time, right? So the problem is sending an upstream like takes like doubles or triples the time. Like all the social interaction of looking up email addresses, formatting it, and writing a story and this and that. For new sites to take us more seriously. I mean, it helps little if everything is fixed in T2 Linux and nobody knows about it, right? So I probably shall like subscribe and YouTube membership for the financing of sending it upstream. Yeah, so to fix this, we need to change this to compare the endianness. Where is even the endianness? Either use another macro or there is, I mean, use, was there another pre-processing thing? Was there to see the definition of that? EDM. Yeah, maybe there was some other mode. Would be good to know where it actually is defined. I mean, I could grab this. So 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. How are they? I believe I probably don't use this like this. Do I? Okay, we use maybe. Here, byte order. Okay, you probably need to compare byte order. So yeah, I looked this stuff up. That is the difference, right? I actually looked this stuff up 20 years ago, and other people just use some random thing and then wonder that it breaks. Okay, this defines byte order to big-endian, and it's not amazing. We could grab, like, I didn't invent this, right? If I would have, when I found this 15 years ago, I found it's low quality engineering, and other people at Oracle or SUSE fall over the same stuff that I Yeah, this is why people ask, by the way, for applying for jobs like 15 years of experience. This is why you need 15 years of experience, right? Because otherwise you break file system codes with a minor release. Coming from so there is big-endian, and yeah, so it is here. It's literally in the big-endian age, right? And yes, I also thought it sucked, but that's compatibility, and then it sucks, right? 40 years of C, and yeah, that's how you're doing it. And the question is to define where. I mean, it doesn't. I basically don't need to. I probably should, instead of spending time finding out where this stupid byte order stuff comes from. It is possible that also something is built into the GCC. This file defines byte order for. I mean, it says byte order. There's all defined. Define. It's here. There is some byte order. Big-endian. How do they big-endian is? If defined big-endian, define big-endian, define board. Oh, okay, so the maybe compiler built in. Yeah, it's probably glibc. It's hilarious. It's, yeah. I probably should send it upstream to have like maybe life goal until I retire, have one significant change contributed to each. Certainly GIMP in 1998 is not enough. The first Chromium V8 patch, we need. No source code package is safe from us. Chen asks, do we get also many times USB and ACPI errors when Linux is booting on your? Yes, I indeed get some. I pointed this out before, not particularly. I get, of course, it's x86, of course. So yeah, I get some. So this is Gigabyte. Which board do you have? Can you adjust to gather more data points? 10 was all excited about BtrFS because hundreds of thousands of PNG ping JPEGs. Apparently it's better than X2. Saw some benchmarks and then I saw some benchmarks. Yeah, so I get some already existing issues. The crazy stuff is I wanted to disassemble the DSDT table also, and this Intel ACP ICA disassembler thing doesn't effing disassemble this stuff, right? Even with force. So when you run ISL whatever -D or whatever the ACPI virtual machine compiler stuff is, yeah. So Gigabyte X670E Aorus Masters, all right. So yeah, maybe if you don't mind, could you paste your boot dmask in full, maybe redux the serial number if you want, or stuff. I guess it could probably work under the YouTube video, maybe. Because I don't have another X670 thing, would be good to know for reference. And so what really pisses me off, that this bloody compiler, the ACPI compiler, because it's probably lots of code shared with the Linux kernel. So I mean, it's also crazy. The Linux kernel boots with it, but the bloody compiler doesn't disassemble it, right? Because I wanted to try, I wanted to look for some of this hardware monitoring, sensoring stuff. And even with force, right? You would think the bloody compiler, it has a -F force option, but it still doesn't disassemble. So I probably should patch this piece of shit to like ignore this bloody error, like the bloody disassembler, and like produce at least something. I'm not sure what the Intel developers were thinking with force, because when I want to force something, I want to at least get as much as possible and not nothing. But I also have some USB error here indeed, usually at least. Also, I have my USB micro-stuttering, right? This is why I live stream from the Steam Deck in the meantime, because this micro-stuttering got on my nerves. So I have some with this Elgato Camlink 4K. that I'm using, not a paid advertisement. I never had issues, not on X470, 570, not on the Steam Deck, not on the VR CHA prototype, on basically nothing, only on this. I have micro stuttering, and I get here one port not ready or so, despite we don't know the algorithm LPM for this disabling LPM. No, thank you very much. I get here some. I've never, like, basically whatever, but I think I usually got here one no hub, no port, whatever thing. He was also, I suspended to memory, yeah, whatever, it's the usual stuff. Anyway, looking forward to your demask. So endianness. So let's do that the right way, did I? So let's little endian. It's like, yeah, true professionals of obviously they have not tested that on like they literally had template in their own crypto XX hash, right? So defined little endian and byte orders, like they basically have had some template there. Maybe the kernel headers, maybe the kernel shared headers are slightly different. Maybe they don't do it as stupid in the kernel. I don't know. Yeah. Let's see if that fixes that. Where did I rebuild? Maybe here. Just demask. So if you want, so it just demask should give you that, right? And it has, if you have this running, it has a little bit more. So, and hopefully it should, I mean, it may not start with the time. That's a kernel config option. I believe most modern Linux distributions, at least it was a kernel option. Maybe it's, but most Linux kernel, most Linux distributions probably have this timestamp configured. So it should start with 0 if it doesn't start, like if you run for weeks, because the log buffer is like 64K or 128K, whatever. Like if this buffer overflows, then it's truncated. But nowadays the buffer should be probably quite large. And I hope YouTube is, I mean, maybe you can't, I mean, like if you, are you on Discord? Because we have a Discord, right? How was it to share? I always, here probably. Invite, privacy, where was? Here. It's always so visible. Yet to. And then edit the freaking link and don't make it expire, so people who find it later can still join. So yeah, if that doesn't copy and paste in full, thank you very much. So yeah, if you have Discord, you could paste it on the x86 Discord text channel there of ours or something. Maybe YouTube has, but if you can try YouTube, just because. It's like, yeah. So let's see, did we already rebuild that? Maybe not. Yeah, it is set. It's not what I expect from 2020. I mean, I'm not surprised, right? Should it be like this in 2023? Not people. Yeah, what a recurring theme, right? The only question there soon will be new merchandise. You probably want to like, subscribe, maybe hit Patreon, and look out for the merchandise, which currently I mostly edit for the European. But if you comment, like if you want to have it shipped to the USA, because there are 2 bloody spread shop stores of YouTube affiliate stuff, and I need to replicate everything, right? Which is why all the new merch is only in the European store right now, because I have no more time. It's of course silly that I need to do this twice. It works! Yay! Amazing! We fixed this, like, and so the crazy stuff is, right? I do this for 25 years. And instead of being a millionaire like Elon Musk, I sit here and half of my... So pro tip, don't get into open source. Build some real professional company, because it is absolutely insane that open source professionals like ourselves can't make a living with open source. They do this for free for the community. They fix oracles or SUSE bugs of stuff that they should have tested. The only constant recurring theme here, the only constant is change and regressions, and what's not tested is broken, right? They brought there some code and they have not tested it, right? Because, I mean, live here on this channel. So now we need to rebuild all, because of course we need. That is build rebuild BtrFS procs, and then we in a minute have 32 new ISOs with BtrFS. I mean, I don't need to rebuild all of them. Theoretically, I only need to rebuild the big-endian ones, but I don't have means of selecting just big-endian ones. And the Epic thread ripped that anyway, so it doesn't matter. By the way, I suspended this Ryzen earlier this morning, and so far, what is that here? AMD GPU. In my opinion, also, yeah, I don't know whether the display. I have here this one neck multi-sync. This 50, also like pro tip, like use your stuff forever. I'm live streaming here. I'm basically, other people would have thrown it away already, right? I'm working here on our, like, this is my secondary test and stuff and YouTube stuff desk, and so it's a neck multi-sync, not a paid advertisement, neck, super, probably 15 years old, right? Neck multi-sync PA241W. It's still an amazing display, right? And even the secondary display is also, Dell Ultrasharp recently failed, so that is now the Dell art doesn't. Oh, they are clever. They don't have the model number on the bezel. Some also probably getting 10 years, approaching 10 years, or at least 8. Dell Ultrasharp 23-ish inch or so, or whatever, 24 inch. Their first 4K display, which until just a year ago was my main display on my main desk. So I work here, and I could still work with this daily, right? There is like zero reasons, like other people giving Apple $6,000 or so for bloody, sure, it's not XDR and stuff, but it shows text you can program. And it's good enough for image processing, right? Even on both displays, I mean, sure, they are, when they were new, they were higher. They were not really top of the line. I mean, they were probably, I mean, they were not top of the line professional displays, right? They were, I usually buy good stuff, good quality stuff, often 6 months later when they already start to get like 10% discounted. But my point is, like, use your pro-tip, use your stuff forever, right? I could everything I do, I literally could still do with this neck multi-sync 24 inch or so 1080. Actually, the cool thing is, I think it's a 16:10 display. Yeah, it's a 16:10 display. A little bit larger than Full HD. I could literally do everything, right? And I could equally even more, like testing high DPI 2x scaling on this 4K Dell Ultrasharp, right? Use your like pro tip. Like you can literally, with everything, like if you don't go out and buy the latest and greatest from Apple and Microsoft and stuff, over 10 years you can easily buy a car from them, right? And stuff. It's crazy. So yeah. So that is rebuilding. That's basically it for this video. I mean, do they have this fixed already? Maybe I should BtrFS. I could have actually BtrFS Git. Where do they have their Git? Is this their main Git? Maybe not. Here is some Linux kernel archives. Oh wait, this is where do they have Git? Here they have some kernel. Following Git repositories used for development, GitHub, KDF. This patches from the mailing list. So this should be 2 days ago. Don't tell me someone else fixed this. Endian is already Endian is. Maybe I should have. I mean, I usually Yeah, maybe pro tip, first check the Git. Wait, this is a kernel, this is not the... Where's the freaking... Ah, here's procs. This fish can be obtained from this user. Oh, there is it. Yeah, it is so sad. So no, the last is a 631, so it's not yet fixed upstream. The question is, I mean, it's not really my problem, right? I could send it in like that, but now theoretically I need to subscribe to the mailing list and stuff. It's already, I mean, maybe I need to subscribe, maybe later on. Maybe I should check the mailing list. But this is all the extra time, right? Now I need to check where to even send this stuff. Patches sent to the mailing list, Linux.BtrFS list, patchwork. And that is somehow the annoying thing. Kernel module list. Oh, there's devil. I just saw it's crawling. Or was it? There even was patches into the mailing list. Mailing list. Yeah, that is the annoying thing. Don't instantly see something, so maybe we're still good to go to census upstream. Ah, you know what? I made a mistake. I should have with sleep 0. Oh wait, sleep does sleep. Ah, it's basically fine. It's because otherwise we have some excessive sleep. Maybe I should change my build all script, because when it happens now, it will happen each time I run it. So maybe if rebuild, then default to rebuild that and sleep equals 0. Yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this and learned something. Thanks for making my work my daily, continuously, recurrently, fixing everyone's regression, finding and fixing, testing everyone's changes, testing everyone's constant flow of changes, debugging, fixing, and releasing an amazing Linux distribution, which somehow is the only Linux distribution. I wonder why ours is the only Linux distribution which works on 32 architecture, compiler, and C library combinations. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed to learn something. Have a good day ahead, and I hope to see you soon for the next fun stuff to come. Probably more big-endian is fixing. Awesome message stuff.